Flatliners stick to the original. This one's not that good. Even though Ellen Page is a great actress or actor, um, the it's just not as good as the original in my opinion. Flatliners is about basically med students that kill themselves medically, flatlining themselves, and yeah, Elliot Page. um, I forgot honestly to reassign the name because I was reading it off the front, but they medically kill themselves and then bring themselves back to life after experiencing the afterlife to see if there's anything going on there, and it turns out there is. Pet Cemetery, classic movie. Um, I have this because it's free online. I'm sure at that point, and I do have the digital copy from the digital because I did buy this new to see the remastered stuff. I prefer this one over the remake as well. Um, and there's probably not very many movies that I prefer the remake over the original, but there's just so many like fun scenes with this one that I highly recommend Pet Cemetery. Aftermath was the other Arnold Schwarzenegger movie I was gonna mention about a drama side of it, but basically he loses his family in a plane crash, and um, pretty much they don't like the government or the flight agency doesn't really give a shit, to be honest. They just want to pay him and get him out of the out of the way, basically. It's inspired by true events too, which is pretty creepy. But it's this happened in another country. It wasn't the United States. I can't remember which country it was, but it's like basically due to a air traffic controller mistake, and planes collide, killing everybody like on both planes. Land of the Dead is pretty okay. I mean, it's not my favorite, but it's like when zombies start getting smart, and I guess that really happened in Day of the Dead, in the military base. But this zombie starts controlling and like leading the other zombies to kind of overtake the corporations. Because basically everybody's living in this like one skyscraper, and then everybody else is living in shit. So they kind of like take over, and it's okay. I prefer Dawn of the Dead. Actually prefer every other of the Dead movies: Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead. I prefer all those movies over that one. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I bought this purely because I was a big fan of the books when I was growing up, and it really doesn't capture the magic, in my opinion, of those books. But I mean, some of them are exactly like the art, but I wish it was kind of more of an anthology than kind of like a running story. The way the movie or the way the books were. Drag Me to Hell is a duplicate copy. Sandlot. I used to have a pair of these shoes, but unfortunately I lost them. The PF Flyers. I got them as a gift, and then the I ended up losing them, unfortunately. So I'll have to pick up a pair of PF Flyers, which are what he wears to run fast and jump higher. But this is like a classic. If you haven't seen this movie, it's a good baseball kids movie. The worms crawl in, the worms crawl out. Yep. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for showing that one. Probably not, but just Gone with the Wind. I mean, I think it made most of the most money out of any movie. Keeping track of inflation. It's an okay movie. There's a lot of good stuff in it, and I really don't like that people have like banned from showing it. I think that's kind of the wrong direction, but you should show it in the history of the context of the history that it was made, and not just outright censor it. I think it's stupid. Slender Man, I just wanted to see it because I liked kind of like the mythos, and yeah, the movie didn't really hit it, to be honest, and it fell really flat. Braveheart, excellent movie. Mel Gibson, again, Patriot, Braveheart, Mad Max, and Mad Max 2. Mad Max 3, eh. I still like Mad Max though, but these were like top foreign movies of his, and Braveheart is definitely really, really solid. It's actually been a little while since I watched it, so I'll move that up. Addams Family classic. Raul Julia is amazing. Christopher Lloyd is great as Uncle Fester. Christina Ricci is Wednesday. Perfect cast. Angelica Houston was Morticia. Just really great. Yeah, as long as they don't show Birth of a Nation. That is true. Probably get in trouble for that one. But yeah, Addams Family is very solid. Total Recall, watch the original, even though this is probably more in line with the actual book, but the original I prefer better with Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously. This one's not bad, but not that great, to be honest. And I think I watched the theatrical cut, but I should probably watch the extended cut as it's probably better. But Kate Beckinsale, she's really good. Not too big of a fan of Colin Farrell. He has quite a history in Virginia with some people here. So, Last Starfighter, one of my childhood favorites. I really love this movie. I'm not sure why it's at the bottom actually. Maybe just a space issue, but this one's fun. It's like basically a kid plays an arcade and he gets like the high score, and then it turns out it's a recruiting machine for starfighters to fight in this intergalactic war, and basically he is recruited because he's such a good starfighter. It's a pretty good movie. Matrix trilogy, good, okay, ugh, like, Matrix 1, I could watch over and over again, but the others, they kind of start losing it. I've never really understood why Neo is like God, basically, at the end of 1, and then it kind of like he loses powers as he goes along. I don't know if I just don't know the lore there, or I'm just misunderstanding it, but Explorers, is that the one where the kid's like in the round ship with the little robot that comes down? It's like a little round circle. I might be confusing that with something else. But Donnie Darko, this was like my favorite movie in high school, probably. Starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Patrick Swayze and Jenna Malone. I really like this movie. And I'm pretty sure everybody that watches it likes this movie, except people that feel like, oh, I don't like it because everybody else likes it. But I don't know. It's a really solid movie. Jake Gyllenhaal's a great actor in my opinion. He's amazing in Prisoners, and Prisoners is a great movie. We'll talk about that at another time because that's further up on the shelf. Zodiac is pretty good. And that one also has Iron Man, Tony Stark. I cannot believe it's just getting late and I'm going fast. But yeah, Donnie Darko is really good. It's been a while since I've seen it, so I'll move that up. 28 Days Later. This was an alternate cover that I got. We already talked about that one. Law Abiding Citizen. I loved everything except the very end of it. The end, I wish was completely different, but this one is a great movie. Great revenge movie. Revenge is probably my second favorite genre of movies, if not my first, actually. There's just something about like revenge stories that I really love. Someone that loses it all and has to get it all back, or at least the feeling that they're gonna get it back, but they never do, and that's like kind of the moral. And I guess that's why he doesn't win. It's kind of more realistic version. You can't just go and break the law and then, hey, we understand, but you always want them to win though, and so that's why I really was like hoping that he would win, but he doesn't. That's a good movie though. I'll move that up. maybe make a revenge shelf. Avatar, I like it, and I can't wait to see what they're doing with like the next 10 movies. I saw this in like 3 times in theaters when it came out, and I like James Cameron. I don't know why this is at the bottom. I think because I have the extended version somewhere else. Um, but it was definitely doing stuff for its time, and I like it. I think it's good. I think it's a solid movie. Out of the Furnace, Christian Bale, Woody Harrelson, Casey Affleck, Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker is so good. There's something about him, Forrest Whitaker, and like every role that he does, he's just so real. I don't know. It's like he is that person, and they just pulled him off the street and got him to be like, yeah, be that guy, be yourself, and not many people do that. But yeah, Forrest Whitaker, I don't think there's been a movie that I don't like that he's been in. But anyway, Out of the Furnace is good. I haven't seen it in a long time. It's another, like crime movie. Do I have the Never-Ending Story? Are you kidding me? Of course I have the Never-Ending Story. That's like that's my childhood favorite movie. So when I was like really really young, Wizard of Oz. Then after that was Never-Ending Story. Then after that was Terminator 2, and that's kind of where it stayed. But yes, I have the Never-Ending Story. Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai. I love that movie. It's so good. They just released it in Criterion actually. This is a really good movie. Wish I didn't have a glare, but that's what I get. This is the first time I've done this kind of thing, so. But yeah, Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai is really good. We'll talk about that in a Criterion review. Yeah, Out of the Furnace is definitely worth watching, and I actually haven't watched that in probably like since its release, so why not? Shutter Island. I like movies like this, and the thing I like most about Shutter Island is the music. And when you think at the end, when you think that he's finally come out of it and he falls right back in, that's probably the best part. And there's just so many like good things about it, but then like hampered by other things. But I do like his partner cop, Mark Ruffalo, and Ben Kingsley is good. I always liked him since Searching for Bobby Fischer. But yeah, Shutter Island, it's a mixed bag. Some days I love it, some days I'm like, just get to the ending so I can see that again, or get to the music parts. I love that. When he's talking with his wife in her spirit form. Crimson Peak I bought purely because it's Guillermo del Toro, and I love the visuals of it. I haven't seen it. I've only watched it once, and I feel like I need to watch it again to really see if I like it or not. There was something about it that I just was like, not really digging it. But I love the aesthetics of it, and I love the visuals. So I'll move this up again and check it out. Star Wars Force Awakens. I feel like this movie, and probably the whole new trilogy, needs like its own video or own stream. It hurts to talk. I'm like a huge Star Wars fan, and it hurts to talk about these movies. This one gave me like A New Hope in a way, but my lord, like as the series went on, is just like, ugh. So we'll talk about Star Wars another time. Source Code I haven't watched actually. I don't know why this is down here at the bottom, but it's from the director of Moon, and I like Moon a lot actually, and Jake Gyllenhaal. So I need to move that up. I'm not sure why that's down here. I haven't watched it, so I can't really speak on it. Salem Witch Trials. I bought this during the FYE closing sale, so I picked it up, and it's also one that I never watched, so I don't know why it's down here. Dolph Lundgren. This is a dual pack command performance and direct contact, which I haven't seen, so I don't know why it's down here. Phantasm Remastered. I did watch this. It's actually a really good remaster. And I kind of gave up after Phantasm 1. I think I started the second one, but I couldn't get into it. This one's pretty decent. It's okay for what it is. But I do appreciate the remaster. It looks really crisp, and nice, and the tall man's kind of like that classic, like, villain. But I think I was always a fan of Hellraiser, more in that kind of weird object guy. Serenity. This one's really good. I like Joss Whedon. And I've always wanted to watch the Firefly series, and I have it right here actually. This is a Firefly collection, but I haven't watched it yet. But I did watch Serenity, and I liked it. And I do like the Baldwin guy. I forget his name. And I've liked him. I like him more because of, and it's Adam Baldwin. I like him more because of Full Metal Jacket. The Barn. One of my good friends made this actually, and it's like a classic throwback to old 80s horror movies. They're actually making a sequel here soon. I think they just finished filming it. But this one is like a solid, like, if you like 80s throwbacks, this one's worth the investment. The reason why it's at the bottom is because I have it as part of this collection over here, which is like the horror pack exclusives. John Wick, this is at the bottom because I have the Steelbook version somewhere in there. And love this movie. This is Keanu Reeves come back, like, from the 90s, and everybody loves this movie. I don't know anybody that doesn't like this movie. Let's see, getting very close to the end. The Omen collection, the first one's good, the second one's okay, the third one's a little bit better because it has Sam Neill in it. And then the remake I didn't really like. Yeah, John Wick is, I love it because it's a revenge movie, and it's like double revenge movie because I don't want to spoil it for those that haven't seen it, but it's solid. Mega Shark versus Mecha Shark, the same thing where we talked about the croc octopus or whatever. Like, I just have no interest in watching it, but I got it from the horror pack. And speaking of the movie that we were talking about earlier, Don't Breathe, this one's really good, and it's worth watching for sure. And I'm not sure why it's at the bottom, but yeah, it's like a home invasion movie, and it's good. But you see it from the perspective of the home invaders, not so much the person being invaded. The Hunt, mixed feelings on it. It's another Blumhouse film. It has some really good parts to it, and then some really just kind of okay parts. Overall, from what I remember, it's not bad. I think the ending is kind of where I lost it, but it was cool seeing like the cameos of people like coming in and then dying, like, right off the bat. It Follows was really cool when it came out. I think because, like, I put it at the bottom is because, like, once you've seen it, it's kind of like The Sixth Sense. Like Sixth Sense is like really really good. Everybody loves Sixth Sense, but I can't watch Sixth Sense again, even though I love Bruce Willis. Like just knowing that knowing the ending is like just kind of ruins it for me. I would much rather watch Unbreakable again, but it follows this kind of the same way. I mean, it's not a huge twist at the end, but it's just like you've seen it. Carrie, classic Carrie. No, I have not seen Lucy, even though that's Scarlett Johansson. Am I think. But no, I have not seen Lucy. Did you like that one? Carrie, everybody knows Carrie. This is what I was talking about, gods in general. This is like okay. I mean, I just bought it because I wanted to learn more about the Civil War, but it almost seems like, oh, the South, like, I don't know. And I'm from the South, so it's just like a little bit too much for me. And I don't even think it had like really good battles about it, or in it. So I don't know. I think it just kind of fell flat, if I remember it correctly. But I don't know. I feel like they get, oh, let's make a Civil War movie. Let's hire Robert Duvall and Jeff Daniels and throw them in, and we got ourselves a Civil War movie. Place Beyond the Pines. I have a love-hate relationship with this movie. When I saw it, I thought it was going to be like the next Drive, and like from the trailer, with Ryan Gosling speeding around on his bike, and the and doing like bank robberies and stuff. I thought it was going to be awesome, and then like the first third of the movie, just after that, I was like, fuck this movie. Like, I got up out of the chair and I went to the concession stand and I was texting my friend. I was like, this movie is awful. And then like I went back and watched the rest of it, and I was like, always just like, God bless America. Like I wish they didn't do what they did in the movie. And if you watch it, you'll understand why. But overall, like looking back and watching it again, it's a decent movie. But I just, being such a Ryan Gosling fan, it just kind of ticked me off. Final Fantasy VII Advent Children complete. I don't think I've actually watched this one. I watched the original Advent Children, but I don't think I've seen the complete version, which I'm not even really sure what the differences are. But I like Final Fantasy VII. I liked Advent Children, especially the final fight scene with Sephiroth and Cloud. This one I would recommend watching it just to watch it, for sure. Prometheus, I've seen this, and I think I have it digitally. I'm mixed on Prometheus. It has a lot of cool stuff in it, and I like kind of like their investigation back into like the origins, and I'm really waiting to see where they go more with it, because I think you need to see more to get appreciation for it more. My dog's having like a nightmare. But no, I have not seen Revenant. I have it. It's at the top. I bought that. I still haven't watched it yet. It's been like years. And it just goes to show you how far behind I am. But yeah, Prometheus, it's got good parts, got bad parts, and overall, it's just. I liked Aliens. Aliens is really good in my opinion. I like it better than Alien. Prometheus falls short of both Alien and Aliens in my opinion, but it's definitely better than Alien 3. And yeah, I think Alien 3 was the last one, and then Prometheus. I could be missing one, but probably Aliens, Alien, Prometheus, 3. And I think there's Resurrection, but that might be 3. Oh, Revenant is a revenge movie. I had no idea. It goes to show you what I know about that movie. But yeah, then I'll have to watch it sooner than later. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's really cheesy, but there's something about it that I love. and I like clowns, and them turning people into cotton candy is kind of funny. It's not something like you go in seriously. It's like watching one of my movies that I'm in. Um, but mine are like worse. Killer Clowns is this is a fun movie to go in for like Halloween and stuff. Tomb Raider, not really digging it. I thought she was okay as Laura Croft. Um, I think it was better than probably the Angelina Jolie version. But I can't really even say that because I haven't seen the Angelina Jolie versions and since their release. But yeah, it's okay. It wasn't fantastic by any means, but definitely better. American History X. Everybody should watch this movie, in my opinion. Like everybody. I think it's important, like for just anybody to watch this. It has a good lesson at the end. You know, it's good. It's just a good movie, and it's got some really evil parts to it. But you know, it's like, how do you get out of that way of life of like hate, and how do you transform yourself to be a better person? And then how does that repercussion of your behavior impact your friends and your family, and like what does that do for your life as a whole? Like how much damage does it really cause? And it's just something that everybody should watch, in my opinion. The Forest is actually pretty good. It's basically like a woman is going out looking for her twin in the Japanese suicide forest. Shout out Logan Paul, or was it Jake Paul? Don't remember, but it's that same forest, and it was pretty good, and it always kind of kept you on your toes, like what's really happening here, who's responsible. Um, but I was actually more surprised by how much I liked it as opposed to what I thought I was going to. Um, Sucker Punch was okay. It kind of reminded me of like a video game where you kind of go up the levels and stuff like that. So it had some interesting parts to it and some like really horrible, cheesy parts. Um, that's really all you can say about Sucker Punch. I feel like visually great in a lot of parts, but content wise, it was hit or miss for me. Can you save that one for last because I don't know why that's down here. Hocus Pocus, classic horror movie. I think everybody pretty much can say that they like this movie. And it also, I had a huge crush on Vanessa Shaw when I was a kid. Like, I always thought she was super pretty when I was that age. And yeah, it was a good movie. Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, all really good. Victor Crowley, I haven't seen this. This came in a horror pack actually. Adam Green, he's made some pretty good movies. I'm trying to think of the one that I really enjoyed from Adam Green. But Kane Hodder is an amazing stunt man. He's been in the industry forever. Let me look up Adam Green real quick. Filmmaker movies. I think it's You're Next. Was it You're Next by Adam Green? I might be mixing him up with someone else. I hope not. Or maybe he's just known for like Hatchet. Was it Hatchet? Director. Hatchet. That's what it was. Who made You're Next? I get those people mixed up. You're Next. If you haven't seen You're Next, that's one I highly recommend. Adam Wingard. And yeah, Kane Hodder is definitely the best Jason. Kane Hodder is, he should win like all the awards, and they should retroactively give him like Oscars and stuff for stunt work because he's done it forever. He's put in the work. He's, you know, injured his body. Like, I think he's burned like most of his body in stunt accident, you know, and he's still rocking it. And now he's like becoming even more like camera, like actor wise. So, you know, he deserves a lot of respect, and he's so nice. Like, I've met him a couple times at conventions, and he's always very friendly, always hanging out with everybody. So he's really nice.